Hi, welcome again to the series of not spiritual but physical. Last time I was telling you I might change the title because it didn't sound so nice and fitting for what I was going to talk about. But yeah, thank God I finally got our a name at least to give the series, and it's titled not physical but spiritual, not spiritual but physical. And last time I said everything is spiritual, everything is might be spiritual, but sometimes we need uh, physical solutions or physical work on top of the situation to to complete the to complete the spiritual process of the spiritual healing, spiritual uplifting, spiritual whatever it is that you might be struggling with, you might be praying for, you might pray about anything. Yeah. And yeah, I think if you remember, I used an example of food, and today I want to share about food as well. And this is something that I suffered from and never realized the implication, and later on it affected even my spiritual life. It affected a lot of things, that later on is when I realized the problem was not physical but spiritual. By the way, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Zawadi. Welcome to this channel. I'm Zawadi. You can call me the doctor of experience, the doctor or counselor Zawadi from the school of experience. Yeah, I'm also the founder of an initiative called PUMI, Pure Mind Initiative, and Kingdom Culture Ambassadors. So we speak basically about sexual purity, abstinence, freedom from sexual sins, immorality, fornication, pornography, masturbation, lust, and all sorts of things. And I hope I will put the link below for our Facebook group so that you can get in touch. Also, my link to my WhatsApp where you can reach me is it might seem like a group. If you want to join a WhatsApp group where you want help one-on-one, so yeah, I'll put the link below for you to go through it. But yeah, today's on topic, like I told you last time. Wow, like I told you last time, this God is amazing. He's a God who turns a mess into a message. He's a God who turns sorrow into a story, a bad experience into a lesson, and a traumatic experience into a school where you will learn so that you might turn around and start to help others out of those situations, because you might not be the first one to go through that, and you might not be the only one going through that. You might be among the few who came out, but there are others who are still there. So this is my story. My story begins from childhood. I'm a person who grew up in an environment where we're running up and down from the forest of Congo, running up and down because of war and things like that. So from that environment, you are used to just picking up fruits and running around And when you sit down to eat, it doesn't, we do not stay in a place for a long time, but moreover it's just a thick forest. You're not even sure of your safety. But the reason I can remember, I don't know how old I was then, it's something I've never known, but my memory card was very active to take picture of every single moment. But yeah, from that environment, and then we came to Kenya where we started living, and there came a situation where my mom will be the one, we were little then, my mom will be the one to cook and feed us. Sometimes she will start cooking late, or she will cook and it takes longer because of the kind of food maybe she's cooking. And around 10 p.m, we as kids, we were sitting on a mat, stories, even sometimes around our dad or mom, telling stories, and then we get tired and we start sleeping at that time. And the moment the food is ready, we are woken up, come and eat. And trust me, it's not such a good experience to eat something as if it's a punishment. But that's how sometimes the parents will just, because of love, they will just want you to eat because they know it's important for you. But at that time you do not know that it's important for you it's just a punishment. You are sleeping and they wake you up with, they wake you up, you do not wake up, so they had to hit you a little for you to wake up and eat. And you eat crying, you don't even like the food. Even if it's meat, you will not like it. It's rare to eat meat, but it became like a culture. It became like something normal, not liking food. So plus my being aware of yourself is something important, even as spiritual creatures who believe in God, people who believe in God, Christians, I mean, who are born again. It's good to be aware of yourself. So I'm a person when I am not in a good environment emotionally, feeding, that's the list of the things. That's the first thing that will be erased. The appetite will go. Even the smell of food, the sight of food, not even if it's my favorite, it just can't work. So whenever anything just triggers my emotions and I'm not so happy, I'm not so in a good mood, then food will be the first thing to throw away. I won't eat, and even if I eat, just forcing it. And the body is something that was created in a special way. It knows, so it doesn't really take it. And even in school, when I was in boarding, the student who might remember, I used to take my food, and sometimes they annoy me so badly, and I had gone through something maybe during the day, and I would just, I might even just put the food down, as in, or throw it away. I don't know, just the anger, the first thing, the food I can't eat that day. It might be the whole day, but yeah, it became a culture. And coming to Australia, where now most of the time, because I'm an introvert, I realized that what later. I'm an introvert. I'm a person who is inside all the time. So I realized, wait a minute, I am actually do not like going out because I'm not used to it anyway. So I prefer just staying in the comfort of the house, mostly in the room, because I just any environment that can affect me emotionally, I automatically, there are some insects that when they're walking and you just touch them, like the tortoise, for example, the snake. You just touch on it, the first thing they do is to hide inside the shell. So I am almost like that. It's just something that happens automatic. If I see that someone is toxic, someone just doesn't care about using the right words, the right studying the person's mood, because you might be close friends, but there's sometimes, not all the times, you will use the same joking things that you use. Depending on the person's day or mood, you can tell that no, this is not the right time to joke about this, or to use this word and things like that. So if I realize or such, so I just automatically shut off. So a home environment, my room environment is quite the most comfortable for me even now. So eating became something else, and it became a continuous habit. I'm not an eater. Sometimes I'll just stay the whole day, 2 days. Wait, I haven't eaten for 2 days. Wait, is it 2 days? Did I eat yesterday? No. It became my habit, and I'll just laugh about it. Sometimes I became leaner and leaner and leaner. To those who know my Facebook, they know that I used to joke a lot that, hello, who knows how to add weight? I want to add weight because I'm continuously reducing than increasing. And increasing is such a hard work, but reducing in 1 week, such an easy job. Not 1 week, even half is enough for me to lose enough weight that you can notice. So yeah, for me that was a normal lifestyle, but in real sense it's not normal and it shouldn't be normal, but I didn't know. Yeah, because I'm an inside person. You just go to school, come back home, go to school, come back home, go to church, come back home. Know a lot of things, and started when it time to start working. I didn't get job, and moreover I also had some issue with having confidence in myself. Sometimes you're like, these people, after they toss you up and down, you're like, maybe I'm not good at working or something. But yeah, later on, I traveled to a place where now you see people every day. They are very active. They have lived a very active life, and they can do this. You're like, oh, this is now the time I'm coming out of my shell. I want to start doing like they do. And that's when it hit me. Something happened. I started noticing my body is not how it's supposed to be. There's just something wrong with it. I feel like extremely weak. Like I can't stand for so long. I can't walk for so long. I can't. Sometimes I'm just 30 minutes is enough for me to feel drained. My legs will start shaking, will be extremely painful. The whole body will start being painful. I became concerning and I was worried, but I couldn't tell what was wrong. So the only thing I could do is pray and continue to pray because I don't know what's wrong. And for me, feeding still isn't such my favorite. So it never occurred to me that it would be food or anything. Just I knew that maybe I'm just born terrible. I don't know. It came to a point I felt like I'm not a human. There was a situation where I was thinking, if everything fails, I'm really going to run away into some forest because I can't cope with humans, first of all. And the continuous words that I would hear, they would just make me feel like abnormal, completely abnormal, or even a disabled person. Even worse, because now at least a person who doesn't have a hand with hands or hand cupped, or at least it can be seen. But my issue, I can't tell, but I can feel it, I can describe it. But even if I describe it, I don't know what's wrong. But thanks be to God, like I told you. And I've always posted on my Facebook that there's no friend like Jesus. And sometimes I'll just be overwhelmed and start talking and talking and talking, just describing how it is nice to have a relationship with God. That's what saved me. It was a point where you can imagine having a long fast. In close to the end of a fast, that's when God just sits you down one day, like, you're not good at eating, and you expect to be strong. You expect to go to have your body to come back again. How? And that time I was going through a lot, and I was like, true. So I was discovering myself in the process as well. Oh, whenever I'm down, I do not eat. And whenever I do not eat, in an Australian environment, when it gets cold, it's extremely cold for me. When it's hot, my energy is drained completely. Even the heater is enough I will start feeling exhausted. So it's something that I'll be like, what's wrong with me? I can't even pick a weather that is better for me. So that's when it came to me. So the first thing I did was Google. I went to Google and I started researching. It was an idea that came to my mind, so I researched. And that's when I saw a description of me, of how I feel, of my body issues, and it all summed up in that blog post into people who do not eat. And then later on they were saying how to start now eating to boost your body, and everything to start being strong again. So that's when I discovered, wait, that's an issue. I laughed actually. I laughed. Sometimes you know your God, God, your Father, you know how you relate. So that day I laughed. I was like, God, how can we describe God? He just remained God, because it's something I least expected. But I was happy as well because I got to understand what was wrong with me and the solution. So I started feeding, and the first week I would take milk, I would take this. I'm not a good eater until today. I still force myself. Sometimes I would take food in the time when I do not want, I do not feel like, but just like medicine, praying that God just help me continue. But I'll keep on forcing and started noticing difference. Sometimes it'd be cold and I'll just be there. Even now, it's just a good example. It can be cold and I'll just notice, why I need my sweater. But before, I'll like, my fingers are the first thing that even anyone who knows me, if you have ever touched me, my fingers during a cold time, you know, like these tips here, they will be so cold. But sometimes these days it started going down. I haven't reached there yet, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just came to my mind that there are people who go through these things and they think the problem is spiritual. One thing that I really can tell you, yes, it's spiritual, because you need to be closer to God. At least that's the first thing, because at the end of the day, even if you do not know how to know, God knows how to speak to you. God knows how to direct your path, how to hold your hand and lead you to the information you need. But yeah, another thing that sometimes you need to think, why am I not doing it right? And think around it. At that point, when things were not right, there are a lot of suggestions, and every suggestion was entering. So I'll be told, your problem is here. I'll start like, maybe. I'll start looking at it. I start looking at it. And I noticed, yeah, this is a problem. So, as you can see today, that's one of the things that I decided to share, because I know there's some people who might think they're not good enough. There are a lot of things that are happening to your body, and the cause might be eating, the cause might be overeating, undereating, overfeeding, underfeeding, or eating certain foods that are not a good combination. For example, you just it's okay to eat fruit, but if you eat, for example, bread for 1 month, mm, that one is worse. That one is worse. Yeah, sometimes you want to save money, but you hurt yourself in the process. There might just be a reason. Sometimes it's good to talk to someone who has experience, who understands it, and has a good relationship with God as well, to help you search through prayers and through thinking where it might be wrong. So still the aspect of God is not erased, because sometimes you will need to search in prayers to know the physical things that you're not doing right, that are the reason that are affecting you, and things like that. So yeah, that is it for today. I hope to share more some other time. And I hope you're blessed. I hope it relates to you or someone, and if it does to someone as well, you can share. So that they can look deeper into their lives and see where the problem might be. We were helped or comforted by God's comfort in our own ways, so that we also might share the good news with others, to be free, to be helped, to find a solution. So I hope this helped you, and see you next time. By God's grace. God bless you. Amen.